Hi there. So here we have the start of our butterfly project. We have the 3D printed frame, the wings, and some of our strips, and this is what it's going to look like. This one has a white background, but for this one we are going to do a black background, just so we can see the difference. So now I am going to glue in the wings for this part. You don't need a super thick layer. Keep it kind of thin so the paper doesn't warp so much. And then you're just going to press it in firmly. So once the wings are in and we have some of the glue cleaned up, then we're going to grab a tool so we can curl our strips. You're just breaking the fibers to make the paper roll a little easier to help give it the shape for the wings. So at this stage, I am going to curl one of each colors of the strips that I'm using. So that way, I am not trying to go back and do it over and over. Just kind of do it in one step. And you can use all sorts of different tools. At this point, I am using the the other side of my slotted quilling tool, but I have now switched to a chopstick. Later on, I'll also switch to a Sharpie marker. So you can essentially use anything to help curl the strips. Just think of it like you're curling ribbon with scissors. So now we're going to grab the other tools that we need. For example, we need scissors to cut these strips. And then we are going to need, sorry, I got to clean that little spot. And then we are going to need our glue tray with some glue on it. And for the most part, that's all. Oh, and sorry, the tweezers. Tweezers definitely help in this case. And that's pretty much all that we need for this project. I do like to use reverse tweezers. And what that means is they're always closed and you have to pinch them open to release. For quilling, I find that the easiest type of tweezers to use. It definitely lets your hands not feel so cramped. So I kind of measure with my eyes, kind of put it against the part where I want this piece to go, and then I may cut it a little longer so that way I can just cut off little pieces if it's too big. But nothing has to be perfect. Just do the best that you can. I had realized at this point that I had actually wanted the top part of the wing to be a little bit lower. I shouldn't have made it intersect right at that part of the wing because now I won't be able to get all of my colors in for that section above, but that's all right. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's still going to be beautiful at the end of this. So now we have this great starting point. And what's going to happen is we are going to take our next color and we are going to fill it above and below each of our starting lines. And it's just going to fill in very nicely, and it's going to be so colorful and pretty. And so from here, you're essentially just going to keep repeating these steps. You can make it as tight as you want. I like it pretty tight. So you kind of don't see as much of the background. But it's up to you. I'm sure it's going to look great no matter what, okay? So you just think of it as a top wing section, bottom wing section, and the left and right, and you just keep placing a new strip after the last place ones. So here is a part that I didn't fully meet it in the middle, which that's all right. I know that I could cover it up with my next color, and I just kind of go with it. It's not perfect, but it's still progress, and it's gonna look great. Okay, and here is the completed butterfly. Yay, it looks so good. And I'm going to show you the one with white background, and you're going to kind of see it side by side. They both look great, and it's preference if you want the white or the black background. But thank you so much for being here with my through my tutorial. Have a great day. Bye.